Joseph W. Brady, how do you respond to the glass half full or glass half empty state of our high desert Mojave River Valley economically?
Terry, what I find, we have such a big area. So some people don't really know who we are. Some have heard who we are. So for those that know who I am, I hate to say this. My name is Joseph Brady. I'm proud to be the president of the Bradco Companies. We have been doing business out here for 37 years. I moved 35 years ago from Santa Barbara, California. We believe that we are the leading provider of commercial, industrial, land, and brokerage services out here. I'm a CCIM. What does that mean? It basically means I have my doctorate in commercial real estate. I'm an SIOR. What does that mean? I'm one of, with the two designations, I'm one of 940 people in the world, and I'm very, very proud of it. I'm the only SIOR within the region up here. I believe that we have one other CCIM within the market, and I believe that that's James Phillips, who's semi-retiring. He's with Coldbank, used to be with Century 21, and a good friend. I also published the Bradco Ideas Report. We started that in May of 1993. We put out our 60th edition, our 61st edition will be coming out sometime probably in the middle of October. They typically are 36 pages. We now do them about every 9 to 10 months. And we have a very large subscriber base. It's free. We have nearly 1,500 people that receive anything we do on CoStar or any projections that we do that we put out. So at one time we were members of 11 chambers on out here. We were members in Phelan, Pinion Hills, Lucerne Valley, Victorville, Apple Valley, Hesperia, Adelanto, Newberry Springs, and there was one in Hellendale. We've recently rejoined in the last 2 years the High Desert Chamber of Commerce, and wish to commend Rusty and Mark for the work that they do. They've got a great group. They've got 600 members. We've identified 9,000 businesses out here, and most of the businesses are going to be receiving a mailing sometime between now and the end of the year from me. We've recently entered into a business relationship with a very renowned business broker in Southern California. That business broker I met because they handled a business that we sold in Barstow, California. So we've owned multiple businesses in Barstow. We had Coldbank or Golden West Real Estate that we owned from 2000 to 2010. We converted that to Barstow Real Estate Group. We held that until about 2 years ago. We had Alliance Management Group, which was the largest property management company on out there. And we sold that to Kevin Patterson and RentSource. But it was a email that I received from this business broker that I was very impressed with. Not only was I impressed, he was with the largest business brokerage company in the world at the time, and he is now with an equally large one in the United States. So we've entered into what's called a memorandum of understanding. And during this rather odd time in commercial real estate, everybody knows things have slowed down, interest rates are on up. We don't think that housing values are going to plummet. We still think that there's a great housing market on out here. You know, I think, First American Title and Fidelity in Chicago put out their weekly reports. I think that there's still a good market. We've decided while we continue to still grow, the land deals that we're doing and all that, we did a couple major deals this last year, that we wanted to find a venue and a broker that could offer business brokerage services. So 9,000 people are going to get a mailing between now and Christmas. It basically says if you have a business that does $500,000 a year and it does for the last 5 years and you're interested in selling, give us a call. We're going to refer you to this business broker. We receive a referral fee, so I'm being right up front disclosing. We would then refer to them. We will take care of your lease on renegotiation, or we'll help you sell your building. So that's one of our new announcements. Now, let me talk about how the glass is half full in the high desert. I know a lot of people say I love the Victor Valley, and then they love the high desert. I love the Mojave River Valley. I love all of it. I've been here again 37 years. I'm very proud of what we've done up here. We've done just a shade less, $983 million in sales through the multiple companies that we've had. We're not the same size we were. I think that could change. We have some pretty aggressive plans here in the future, but the market's a little dicey right now. But let's remind everybody watching this, and just give me 6 or 7 more minutes to remind us why the glass is half full and why I believe that the Victor Valley, that the high desert, or the Mojave River Valley. So the Mojave River Valley really takes in that 4,000 square miles that we cover. It's a little bit smaller than the Mojave Water Agency. They cover 4,700 square miles. Let's talk about the 5 things we think are important. Silverwood is a real project in southeast Hesperia. It's absolutely the finest piece of property for a residential community, and it couldn't be better developed by not only John O'Haney and his partners at Terra Verde, but the equity money that was brought in by Ray Huerta, very few people know who Ray Huerta is. Who is he? Former chairman of CB Richard Ellis, the largest commercial broker in the world. They also own they own 100 different companies. They're about $30 billion a year in annual sales. But more importantly, DMB, which is out of Scottsdale, is the master developer behind it and the largest master community developer probably in the country. So it's going to be a community on steroids. It's something I think everybody should take a look at. They broke ground in February of 2022. They have picked the 5 national builders. They'll be announced sometime in the next couple of months. I think one of them is going to be a game changer as far as the name goes. They are prepping 2,000 lots. They've moved 10 million cubic yards of dirt. They have 9,633 acres. They have 15,663 lots. They believe it's a 30-year project. I believe it's going to be closer to a 25, maybe a 23-year project. And it's just in a great location. You add that project right there with the widening of Ranchero and the planning that the city of Hesperia did with San Bernardino County Transportation Commission, which I should remind everybody, the chairman of that right now is Art Bishop, and he's a resident of the high desert, and he's also involved in Apple Valley. They're spending $52 million to widen that, plus the amount that DMB and Terra Verde and Silverwood have to widen their portion that go back from really Santa Fe back to I Avenue. So you've got that right there. You look at the 13 million feet of industrial property that is in the entitlement in the city of Hesperia right now. There's nearly 20 million of industrial space in the entitlement stage in the city of Atlanta. The marijuana market did really well. We believe that that's kind of flattened out, but there's a couple million feet, almost 3 million feet out there that's done very well, and there's a lot of opportunities. Then if you look just to the north, you've got Southern California Logistics Airport. All those buildings at Dougal-Egan and Anita Tuckerman, many of you remember Anita Tuckerman developed. Those were sold to Ken Shear. Ken is the developer with Mark Milikovich at Covington that's developing the properties down there along I-15 and 395. They bought Dougal-Egan's portfolio of 3.4 million feet and spent $270 million in cash. So we have a lot of new money coming in here. Then you take the control of Southern California Logistics Airport and look at the 3,000 jobs that they've done, the balancing entitlement they have between 45 million and 50 million square feet, and it's now controlled by Prologis. And most people, Terry and Robert, I find they haven't been out to SCLA. I encourage everybody watching this, drive on that Derrick Expressway, take D Street, Derrick Expressway, turn left, get to Phantom West, turn right, and you go on in. You got Mars Bars, Plastipac, Boeing, ComAv. You've got Rubbermaid Newell. You've got the Mars people. They just opened up a pet plant. I mean, the pet food. You've got Iron Mountain that's in the storage business. You've got Amazon that's out there. And more importantly, you've got Kim Snyder, who's the president of Western Division, and Tyson Chaves that run that project. It is listed by CBRE. And they are the largest industrial developer in the world. In the world. They have 1.2 billion square feet. Billion square feet of property around in 19 countries, and a Rolodex of 6,000. That's pretty big. You go out to the east on out there in the town of Apple Valley. We all know what a great job they've done. They got some exciting things coming in. That north side of town out there, out where the Walmart distribution center is. Most people don't know that's the busiest Walmart distribution center in the country. You got the 1.3 million square foot Big Lots that's right next door. There's 20 million feet of industrial space being planned in that market out there, led again by Ken Shear and Mark Milikovich of Covington. And then you go further north of that out to Barstow, and while Barstow's population has remained rather stagnant for the last 60 years, as Terry Caldwell told us once at a Rotary, when I was a Rotary member, that they had 25,000 people in 1956, as the year I was born. They have 23,000 today. Well, they're going to be welcoming a portion of 22,000 people that Burlington Northern Santa Fe, which is a Berkshire Hathaway company, announced on October 1st, 2022, is coming to Barstow. So it's not one of those things. I mean, many people watching this will say, Joe, we've heard about the Rogersdale that came here and the big power plant was going to go out in the Lucerne Valley and they're going to drill for oil in the 1900s. Never happened. Well, Burlington Northern has bought over 4,300 of the 4,500 acres that they have told the city. They've told the city that it's a $1.5 billion initial investment. It's a whole lot more than that. They're going to create 22,000 jobs directly and indirectly. within the BNF system. So if you listen to what they say, we've calculated through conversations we had. I mean, we were very proud that we recently represented Lewis Operating, Lewis Retail, on an exclusive negotiating agreement on a very large piece of property in Barstow with the city of Barstow. And based on the work that we have done and the analysis that we've seen, we believe that there's about 8,000 jobs that are going to go directly into Barstow, and the balance are going to be a part of the system. At the end of the day, what is that going to do? It's going to create a housing boom on out here. It's going to create a rental boom on out here. I've done more tours in the last 4 months due to the fact that we need more apartments on out here. We need more housing on out here. So is a glass half full, more than half full? And to close, I think that the thing that I think is a game changer, and I think that there's a lot of people in Napa Valley that are very proud. Our bishop should be very proud. He's been very much behind this. Been a lot of people behind this speed train. This goes back 34 years. It was called the Maglev train. We have every article. We have all the files on Maglev. And after Brightline finally breaks ground, we're probably going to do a big story on that. But that's a $10 to $12 billion project. I absolutely believe it's going to get funded. I take my hat off to Ray Wolf down in San Bernardino County Transportation and Art as this year's chairman and their board. All the permits are done. They're going down the center of the freeway. What they've got to do is get $3.75 billion that they're going to get from the infrastructure package that Biden put out. It's almost guaranteed. They've had their application in. We're in contact with Brightline. They're very optimistic. I'm very optimistic. But I think it's a game changer for those people that are driving down that Cajon Pass all the time, or they're on Facebook with the pain in the pass. That's going to open up after 4 years, and I think it's going to allow people to move up here and to live up here and to live affordably up here, because you can't live down affordably in Southern California. So at the end of the day, I'm glad to reintroduce myself to a lot of you. Many years ago, I bucked this trend of doing videos. We do them all the time. I hear about it all the time. I really enjoy it because I think part of our job in our industry is not only to do real estate deals that pays the bills, but if we can help educate people up here on what's going to go on. Everybody has their own real estate person. They all have their own attorney. They all have their own accountant. We like to earn your business, but at the end of the day, we like to share what we believe is some great news. And let me tell everybody the last thing. My wife and I are building a custom home in Prescott, Arizona. No, we are not leaving the high desert region. So for some of my competitors that want to win listings, I end up getting those listings after 3 times because they can't seem to get it sold or listed or leased. So I would appreciate, especially those in the real estate, don't be telling property owners we're moving, because we're not. I have a lot of gas left in this tank at 67 years old, and I plan on using it because this is a great place to live, work, and play. And I love the high desert, and I love the Victor Valley, and I love the Mojave River Valley as well. Thank you. God bless America.